to the degree that an individual is exiled from the perception of eternal resonance, they are exiled through judgments, because within their predisposition, within their upbringing, or the predisposition of their music, they value one resonance as more central, more important than another. And they do not recognize that there is no more importance. If you have a human body, you can't say the brain is more important than the heart, or the liver is more important than the kidney, for they are all needed in order to make the glorious orchestra that is the human being. And all resonances are needed in order to make the true love construct. And one is not more worthy than the other. It's silly and futile to even consider to compare them. And so the roots of the beginning of the facade, the beginning of the fractile perception, the fractured perception that exiles an individual from eternal resonance, the root is always competition. The root is always competition. It is always taking a point of reference through which you're judging another. And how convenient individuals who choose a point of reference, for it is all relative in eternity. And do you start eternity over here on the left, or eternity on the right? And where's the reference for eternal resonance? No, the individual's ego chooses a point of reference that is conveniently predisposed to their resonance, and then judges the world around them in reference to them as being be all and end all for all that is. And in doing so, stands in judgment of the world around them and diminishes the glory and grace of all that is in all its different forms. And to a point where that nihilism deconstructs the very core of the individual from any resonance that is eternal. The facade of competition is toxic to an eternal consciousness. So an individual possesses an intimacy, the beauty of their song and resonance, they begin to speak the language of eternity, and in the language of eternity it does not matter. It does not matter at all whether this one is a third grader in their perception or this one's a professor, for from the eye of eternity they're all masters. And there is no difference between the professor's understanding and the third grader's understanding, for the third grader's understanding is foundational and the professor's understanding is innovative. And there is no innovation without foundational information, so there is no point of reference for judgment that one is more important than the other. It's all a facade. It's a facade of the fractile perception that places my resonance as being pivotal and trumping all other resonances. And that is linear. It doesn't exist within an eternal construct, within an infinite resonance. For if you possess eternity, you recognize that to create a point of reference is to exile yourself from eternal resonance. Because that point creates parameters, and eternity and infinity knows no bounds. So as individuals graduate to a level of eternal resonance, they do so as all the masters have instructed, by recognizing what is worthy of love within thyself and embracing that unconditionally the beauty of that eternal resonance, and in possessing the beauty of that eternal song, then all of life and all its resonances begin to sing out to you in similar beauty, in similar poignancy, in similar vitality, where all are sacred and vital. And from that perspective, one's love is eternal, for it's unflinching and unchanging. And there is no judgment or prejudice, for all are partnering, whether they're doing it passively or actively. They're all partnering in a beautiful labyrinth that's a construct in order to help actualize the highest frequency of unconditional love. Or you need choice and freedom to have the poignancy of that love. And you must have gratitude to those that show the darkness of not loving, or that oppress the individual that loves, for they empower the individual with the highest cadence. They prepare it gift-wrapped, a beautiful opportunity to show the highest frequency and graduate to that tier by abusing the individual. For if you were not receiving abuse, if everyone was getting rewarded profoundly for their love, then that love would not be legitimate or real. For it is easy to love. It is rewarded conditionally. And how would you know unconditional love if you did not experience hostility or oppression in correspondence to your resonance of a higher way? So the drama is beautiful in all its machinations and forms from the perspective of eternity. But an individual will not perceive that perspective of eternity if they are not perceiving eternally, internally from themselves. If they don't see within their own song its connectivity to the resonance of source in eternity, if they do not love thyself, and in loving thyself, we're talking about the eternal resonance and song of all source that is represented as a particular color within oneself, then without that train one cannot expand to the glory of all that is in all its forms, all its fractured forms that together, united, work together to help create the conditions for the great reunion.